sung by our mixed choral temperamentals under the direction of Dr. Massera. Thank you. Please be seated. They said chance of thunderstorms tonight, but look, it's a beautiful clear sky just for you guys tonight. So welcome, Dr. Luff, fellow administrators, teachers, parents, community, and most importantly, our class of 2022. This is your moment. But I'm going to bring us way back. The first time I met many of you was September 8th, 2018, as you were waiting in the never-ending lunch line for what was to be our first ever community lunch. I may not have known your name, but I quickly learned what kind of panini you liked best. That day has gone by like a blink in the eye, but the legacy this class has left behind at PVHS could never be forgotten. Your class has been the New York State champion in the 100 meters and the first state champion in our school since 2005. Way to go, man. Your class, the class of 22, had 5 Section 1 champions: track, wrestling, basketball, and cross country. Your class produced 2 NYSSMA state musicians. Your class won the first girls basketball Final Four berth and the second gold ball in school history. Your class embraced an incredible, challenging musical, In the Heights. You had the baseball upset of the season when you beat higher-seeded Valhalla. This class was awarded $38,000 worth of scholarship money. You started an e-gaming club that won the championship on the East Coast. And you successfully hit Mello with a pie in the face and a French fry. Wasn't that a treat? This class has been nothing short of excellent. These were the big events that gave us big moments to celebrate. But what I cherish most about your years at the high school were the small moments, the times we spent getting to know each other, moments that are gone with the blink of an eye. Whether it's Tommy giving his little quick smile as he walked by in the hallway, or sitting with Rachel in the guidance office talking about the Duggars with me, or watching Fox dancing with a t-shirt on his head as Mike played the didgeridoo. Listening to Roger reflect insightfully during IB film, or chatting with Effie about what type of hair conditioner we should use. These are the moments that will always stay with me. Last week, as Kelby and I were talking, he said to me, "We grew up." Indeed you did. But what does it mean to grow up? Perhaps it means gaining some perspective on your life or learning to make better decisions for yourself. Perhaps it means self-restraint or being able to reflect on one's actions. The Stoics described growing up as having control over one's emotions. Certainly, if these are the definitions of growing up, every adult in this audience is still in the process. Maya Angelou wrote, "Most of us don't grow up. Most people age. They find parking spaces, honor their credit cards, get married, have children, and call that maturity. What that really is aging." However, during these COVID years, you had time to slow down and reflect on who you really are and who you want to be. You are strong, confident, young spirits who are ready to solve the world's problems in creative ways. Indeed, you are ready to grow up and make that difference in your families and in your careers because you have the strength and grit to do it. I don't want this speech to focus on COVID, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention the hardships that this class endured. You took the brunt of what it means to return to normalcy. After a long pandemic, you were thrown back into a traditional school schedule with traditional expectations and requirements. You went from eating cereal in your bed, listening to Mr. Baker teach sine and cosine, and Mr. McManus teach about energy and physics, and learning auto mechanics through a module, or traveling to your friend's house to hang out between periods, to a return to the old lifestyle of 7 hours a day in the building every day. We flipped the on switch to full capacity, and you went from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye. This was exhausting and overwhelming for you. For 2 years, you had no end-year assessments or testing days, while this year you had upwards of 10 to 15. This was stressful to say the least, and your teachers and your administration empathized with all that you have faced over the past 3 years. But what I know is that more than any other class, you will prosper and thrive because you have experienced what it means to struggle. Whether it was missing a homecoming dance due to quarantine or the big game due to being sick, you experienced pain that has transformed into strength. You were like the carbon forged under great heat and pressure into brilliant diamonds. This was not an easy process. It was a difficult transition and a long year of challenges for you, but you survived the pressure. You did it. You not only met those challenges, you surpassed them. It may have been daunting at times to look at the large mountain in front of you, but you proved that you were the grittiest and most resilient class to graduate from PVHS. So you, the class of 22, you will do more than age. You will confront the world head on and embrace opportunities that come your way with courage and with determination. You will not be defined by obstacles. You will only be defined on your own terms. You will also not take your future for granted because you know that each day is not a given. You will move forward with grace and dignity and with the confidence to know that you will succeed because you have what it takes to make it through any challenge. In the blink of an eye, your high school experience is over and you transformed into brilliant diamonds that will cast a beautiful and bright shine on all that lies ahead, to forge your own way and your own path to make a difference in all that you do. Come on, you painter, you piper, you prophet, go out and see the world. Shine on, you crazy diamonds, shine bright. Congratulations, you made it. I'd now like to introduce Superintendent Dr. Jeremy Luck. Okay, switch your plans. Sorry about that. We're now going to hear our musical offering, Omnia Soul, directed by Dr. Massera with our 2022 mixed choral and temperamental members. Superintendent Dr. Love.
Good evening and welcome, everyone. I quickly realized during Dr. Seffi's speech what a disadvantage it is going second when she stole all my good material. So I've decided to take credit for the helicopter that flew over as we were walking down. So you're welcome. Many of you have heard the saying that it takes a village to raise a child. In our case, it takes a valley. Each person here this evening, and many who are not able to join us, have played a vital role in the development of the young adults we are here to acknowledge this evening. Regardless of the role you served, parent, teacher, mentor, or friend, you helped shape the young adults sitting before us. Thanks to the collective work of the Valley, each of these graduates will be leaving Putnam Valley with a unique set of skills and experiences that will make them well prepared to overcome any challenges that may come their way. These graduates have certainly experienced one interesting high school career. I may argue the same about my experience as superintendent, but we don't have time for that right now. While far from atypical, your time at Putnam Valley has supported, in some cases potentially forced, the development of many essential skills that will serve you well as you move on to the next chapter of your life. Executive functioning skills, including time management and organization, the ability to participate in self-directed learning, problem solving, and critical thinking. I would be remiss not to mention the personal attributes like perseverance, empathy, and grit. Each of you will be entering what seems like an increasingly complex world and will face challenges along the way. Always remember the person you are today and the person you want to become. It is what you do when presented with obstacles that'll define who you are as a person. This year has offered many of you a final opportunity to showcase your talents on the stage, the courts, in the classrooms, and our athletic fields. Many of you were recognized with honors, awards, and scholarships. A very special girls basketball team took the entire town along with them on a run to the state semifinals, and Naya ran her way into the record books, winning the New York State 100 meters. There is always much to be proud of here in Putnam Valley. That was supposed to be a surprise, but Dr. Seppi already told you she won. Before you leave Putnam Valley High School for the final time, I want to take this opportunity to offer some advice to our graduates, and I hope it'll be useful one day. Take a moment to be proud of your accomplishments. We are often too hard on ourselves. Perfection is not an attribute of humanity. The senior lounge was never designed as a space to recover for your poor sleeping habits. Sleeping in public spaces will become less acceptable as we move forward. After disagreements pass, nobody will remember who was right or wrong, but everyone will remember how they felt. Empathy may be the greatest quality a person can possess. After returning to Putnam Valley as an alumni, there are still some rules you must follow. The first being, no, you cannot bring coffee or water into the pack. Take time to help others solve their problems, and you may find some of yours disappear along the way. No matter how proud you are of your parking space, someone will paint over it. Sorry. Stay in contact with those who made you a better person. No matter how far you travel from Putnam Valley, you will always have a support system here. If we intended for Senior Week to begin after Memorial Day, we would have called it Senior Month. Some of the most important lessons you learned in Putnam Valley had nothing to do with academics. Continue to be the type of person you will be proud of many years from now. Finally, and I get asked this one a lot, yes, that is Mello's real voice. He is not disguising it to sound intimidating, chasing juniors from the parking lot. Graduates, please take time to embrace all that you have accomplished and acknowledge those who have helped you along the way. Each of you will be greatly missed back here in Putnam Valley. Keep in touch, come back and visit, Each of you will continue to make us proud as you employ the lessons learned here in Putnam Valley into your life's endeavors. Congratulations.
I would now like to introduce Ms. Janine Rufo, a Board of Education member, and I want to add in that Ms. Rufo, this is her last year serving on the Board of Ed, and if we could give her a big round of applause for all her years of service to the Board of Education.
Good evening. For the Board of Education, graduation is both the goal and the celebration of all the responsibilities, actions, and decisions we make on behalf of students from kindergarten through high school. And it is always an honor for the Board President to speak to you graduates. I want to thank Board President Parmley for giving me that privilege tonight. She knows that I have a personal interest in this class. For one thing, I know several of you since before you were born. But my real connection is that I became a board member when you were all in kindergarten and have had the gift and the opportunity to help shepherd you and see you all learn and grow and develop into the incredible young men and women that sit before me today. But graduation is a celebration of a journey that started for many of you in front of this very campus sometime in August 2009 as you got ready for your bus run to the elementary school to start your year as a kindergarten student. Some of you may have started kindergartens in other schools, but wherever you were, for all of you, that first day was an exciting one. So you strapped on your X-Men or Minions or Dora the Explorer or Toy Story or Disney Princess backpack, and you got ready to start your lifetime of learning. You had a pretty good idea of what to expect. You would go to school every day with other students whose faces you could clearly see, and you would learn and grow together. You brought with you that day a desire to make new friends, a thirst to learn new things, and the need for a little independence. Maybe to move away from always holding the hand of mom and dad or your older sister, and instead hold the hand of a hallway buddy. What you began doing on that first day of kindergarten was expanding your comfort zone. A comfort zone is the world where you feel completely capable and at ease in, your wheelhouse. The place you know that even with struggle you can be successful in. It isn't a physical location, but rather a state of mind. For the next 10 years, you stretched and expanded your comfort zone every day. You stretched your comfort zone the first time you read in front of the class, or picked up a lacrosse stick, or dribbled a basketball, or acted in a school play, or started playing an instrument, or accepted a Mojo challenge, or started a science research project, or advocated to the school board for an e-games club. You kept expanding your comfort zone as you took on many new challenges and activities, and you made them your own. And then came March 13th, 2020, of your sophomore year. COVID dramatically put a halt to expanding comfort zones, and in fact, for many of them, shrunk them. But as I look around tonight and reflect back on these last 2 years in particular, your expectations of how things were going to look may have changed, but what you wanted to accomplish never wavered. Your comfort zones have amazingly continued to grow. One of my favorite inspirational authors, Sean Anker, talks about what he calls the happiness advantage. He believes that there are 3 primary factors that predict both happiness and success in adults, and that these are optimism level, social support, and ability to see stress as opportunities and not obstacles. If I didn't know that Mr. Anker first started talking about the happiness factor about 10 years ago, I would have sworn that he studied the Putnam Valley class of 2022 to develop his theory. All you have to do this year is go to a basketball game and sit next to a sea of Hawaiian shirts, and the optimism and the desire to make things happen leaps out at you. And in terms of stress as opportunities, this class made some delicious lemonade out of the lemons COVID hit you with. Making a graduation parade into a town celebration, using technology in ways that we never knew it could be used, putting on performances from separate rooms, locations, maybe even states. You made it all work. But mostly, this class of 2022 has shown us that social distancing does not mean social separation. If you want to see social support in action, just follow any member of this class around for a few hours. They have built an incredible social network and connections among each other that you can see they rely on strongly in both positive circumstances and under stressful ones. I am inspired by the way they have expanded these social networks to reach out and to support and challenge the community at large and address and take on topics of passion, interest, and service that will benefit our community and our world for years to come. So as you move on to your next adventure, not entirely sure what next steps will look like from one day to another, please heed the other words of Maya Angelou. The only walls that exist are the ones we put up ourselves. Your Putnam Valley family is confident that all of you will continue to expand those comfort zones and blow up the walls that are put in your way, blow the walls down that are put in your way time and time again. As your family, we thank you for the pure joy you have given us, and we ask that you take pride in how far you've come. Have faith in how far you'll go, but never, ever forget to enjoy the journey. Congratulations, and thank you for 12 great years.
Now we have our student speech, Maria Luna Mendez.
Good evening, buenas noches, family, friends, fellow graduates, and faculty. I'm Maria Luna Mendez, and on behalf of those fellow graduates, I want to begin by thanking the faculty who guided us to this wonderful day, and the parents who moved mountains to make it possible, especially my own, who literally moved countries. Every generation grows up facing struggles, wars, depressions, political chaos, and each considers their own to be the most difficult. But we are graduating after years of masks, lockdowns, quarantines, and a global pandemic. Now, we go out into a war at a time of record inflation, a war in Ukraine, and a country locked in political battles over racism, mass shootings, and immigration, to name but a few. Hardly the best time to be 18 years old. But we can also think of this as a wonderful time to graduate from high school, because we now finally have a chance to make our voices heard, to plot our own destinies, and rise to the challenges our country faces. I have a special insight into those challenges, since I didn't arrive in this country until I was 13 years old, leaving behind my grandparents, who I am so happy to see here today. I had to learn an entirely new language. I had to learn an entirely new language that I'm still a struggle with, as you can tell. I had to deal with immigration and ICE. I had to try to like cheeseburgers instead of salchipapas, and I still do not. I had to learn to dance crisscross instead of Macarena, and there I succeed. But in the process, I learned a crucial lesson: resilience. It's all too easy to think of ourselves as victims of pandemics, immigration, violence, rising prices, or personal challenges. But thinking of ourselves as victims doesn't change our futures. In his last public speech, the former president of Chile, Salvador Allende, said, "La historia es nuestra y la hacen en los pueblos." History is ours and we will write it. While President Allende was talking about his country's political future, his sentiment is universal. The future is ours and it is up to us to create it. Today, It's the first day that future for me and for my fellow graduates. We're going off to college or trade school, joining the military or starting our first full-time jobs. We'll struggle with the studies, assignments, finding places to live, keeping cars running, and worrying about where we will be in another decade. Some of us will face discrimination, violence, mental health problems, poverty, or injustice, and we all hope that they will find individual ways to overcome. But such challenges should not be considered individual. They reflect collective problems, and it is up to our generation to continue the tradition of early generations by fighting to make sure that we deal with them together so that our communities, our neighborhoods, and our country lives up to their promises so that we pass fewer of these dilemmas onto our children. A former professor of philosophy at Harvard once said, "Never forget that justice is what love looks like in public." So today I ask you, my fellow graduates, to be resilient and to love not just in private. Gracias, class of 2022. Thank you.
You did a great job. You did a great job. Now I'd like to invite up our next student speaker, which is our class president, Leanne Keeler.
Hello, my name is Leanne Keeler. I was lucky enough to be chosen to give a speech here tonight to my classmates, family members, and teachers. I completely forgot to even tell my family I was giving a speech tonight, so surprise. You may know me from my large family who's been taking over the town of Putnam Valley, or my father's obsession with Christmas lights, or maybe even my love for volunteering my time at the fire department or ambulance corps. I am grateful for the privilege of being one of your co-presidents this year and for being able to partake in many decisions over my past 4 years at PVHS. To my fellow classmates, 4 years ago, when we walked into the school, we thought everyone was lying when we thought it would go by fast. But now, those 4 years have come to an end, and now it's our time to say goodbye. We did it. We were finally at our graduation day. We survived through one of the hardest times to live through. We adapted and overcame together. Although we are excited and happy to open up a new chapter in our lives, at the same time, it's also sad and difficult to be closing our Putnam Valley Schools chapter. We may not think it now, but we will miss each other. Preparing for this day took a lot of time, from finding the perfect outfits, decorating our caps, and even some tears knowing our time at PVHS is coming to an end. Most of us have been together since the very beginning, spending a total of 2,160 school days together, and others joined us throughout our journey and became tight almost immediately. We became a family throughout it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Seeing your faces day in and day out was comforting, and it felt like home. We are moving on and leaving our PV families behind. We'll be creating new memories with new friends, and one day they will feel like our family. This is normal, they say. And they also say, don't forget about your roots, the people you grew up with, the friends who stood by you throughout everything, the people that pushed you and comforted you. That, for us, is Putnam Valley. Be sure to come home and visit. Don't be strangers to the place you spent most of your time at. Not everything is going to be perfect or even come close to what our ideas of it will be. Whatever comes, we just need to stick it out and give it time. We aren't in PV anymore. Soon we'll be in our new home, surrounded by new opportunities. I wish you all the best in your new chapter and wherever life takes you. To our parents, thank you for pushing through us, through every obstacle we faced throughout our 13 years of our education. Sitting in the stands, looking down at your children, you must be thinking, where did the time go? And don't worry, we're wondering the same. Although we might find it annoying you ask every day what we learned or how our day was, we silently do appreciate it. We thank you for everything you've done for these past 17 or 18 years of our lives. To our faculty, administrators, and staff, thank you for believing in our abilities and teaching us not only the curriculum, but lifelong lessons. Although we may have gotten mad at you over the years, you were the ones to keep pushing us through the hard times to get our work done after all of our procrastination. To think about our actions and consequences, you are the ones that are listening to all of our high school drama and all of our teenage life problems. You were always there with advice, guidance, and most of the time a listening ear. I speak on behalf of my classmates. We appreciate you, and we thank you for everything you've done for us. To our class advisors, Ms. Wilson and Ms. Lewis, you have been there since we walked into this building. You helping us with the problems each class faces when going through the 4 years of high school, through every obstacle, you still believed in us every step of the way, and we finally got to our final destination. We had an amazing prom and even better senior year. Thank you both for everything you've done for us these years. You will truly be missed by all of us. I wish you all a life full of adventures, excitement, and courage that shall meet you on your challenges and your path. And I hope your future is brighter than my Christmas lights. Congratulations, class of 22. That's a wrap.
Nice job, Leah. And she reminded me, and I should tell everybody, that the staff for the prom, which was just 2 nights ago, took myself and several faculty aside to tell us how extremely polite this group of students was, how they thanked everyone for everything, and they were extremely well-mannered. So don't let them fool you, parents. It's like they were awesome, and to have that kind of compliment really is a testament to how wonderful you guys are. I'd now like to introduce Dominic Nunes, class president.
Good evening to you all. My name is Dominic Nunes, and it is my honor to be able to stand here and see all of you on this great day. First off, I'd like to thank the previous speaker, Keeler, for a wonderful speech. I'd also like to thank the faculty here for their hard work day in and day out to make this institution possible, to make it run as smoothly as it can. I'd like to thank the parents and guardians that make this day possible, because without you, none of us would have gone this far. Lastly, I'd like to thank the students for all their hard work and dedication, for it is this that ultimately allows them to be up here today. Us students have been through rough times. Together, over the past 3 years, we've had to face some of the greatest challenges of our time. And yet, we persevered through it all. We persevered because we believed, because we hoped for a better future, and that tomorrow will be brighter than today. You must not give up that hope. Your ambition, your drive, your spark that you have, you must carry it wherever you go, whether you're going after higher education, out to learn a trade, serve in the armed forces, or go into the world of employment. Your ability to have hope and dream of something greater, something grander, will get you through difficult times. Regardless of where you go in life, dreaming big will let you do so much more. The true constraints of a person are in how much they believe in themselves, for we are the ultimate hurdle for our own success. Despite this, it is not only believing and thinking and talking about success that will bring us there, but our actions. The path ahead is shrouded in danger and mystery and anxiety. Things will get rough, and that hope might fade, but we must be tougher, because we did not get this far just to give up. Only you can put in the effort for your success. I promise you, I know. No one else can do your work for you or have the dedication for you. It must be authentic and of your own creation. Your work is your own, and you must own it, whether it is good or bad. In our world, you must be able to be bold and make mistakes, for they will happen no matter what. Do not cower away from an obstacle, for fortune favors the bold. You will fail out there. You will trip and tumble, for that is the real world. Life does not hold anything back, for you are an adult in the next chapter of your life. Do not be afraid of it. Embrace it. You can fear, or you can understand that mistakes are part of life, and be bold. President John F. Kennedy once said that conformity is to break the mold set for you. And conformity is the jailer of freedom and enemy of growth. Your boldness allows for your authenticity. Do not conform simply because it is easier. Be bold. Be authentic. Sometimes something that is overlooked is kindness, especially when you're being told to be bold, authentic, dedicated, and perseverance. Your teachers are a great example of this. They pour their hearts and soul into this job for you, a truly selfless and kind act. You must understand that if we are to survive in this increasingly complex and terrifying world, we must show kindness to those around us. Not just family and friends, but coworkers and strangers. If we present and reciprocate kindness, that kindness will be appreciated and continued on. All of you have been so kind to me over the past 12 years in this district. It has been an honor to be a part of and to serve this community as class president and Board of Education student representative. Class of 2022, you will go far because of all you have gone through. One last thing. When you go out and vote in 2040, look at that ballot a little more carefully. You might see a familiar name on it. Thank you. And congratulations to the class of 2024.
Dom, I feel like I was listening to JFK. Great job. Now I'd like to invite up our Salutatorian, Michael Helowiak.
Wow, okay, Dominic set the bar pretty high for me, alright. Let me just start off with, wow, what a ride it has been in the class of 2022. We've all been together for the last 12 years of our life, with the exception of some people leaving and joining our school. Since Putnam Valley is such a tiny school, I like to consider us more or less a family than just a community. We've all seen the ups and downs of all of our peers and been tossed through the ringer together. We've witnessed each other grow from the innocence of elementary school through the atrocity we call middle school and finally ending with this wonderful experience we like to call high school. For some of us, this is going to mark the end of our school years. For most of us, we have 4 or 5 more years to go, and for the last of us, well, we're only halfway done. Regardless of the amount of schooling required by our career choices, we're never going to stop learning and growing as people. There's always room for self-improvement. I've seen this theme ever so prevalent in the past years since returning from the COVID closures. So many of you, me included, have matured exponentially when placed under stressful circumstances. When we were separated and locked away from all our friends, we realized just how much we miss seeing the faces of people we don't even talk to. This alone allowed all barriers formed from the cliques of middle school to rapidly disintegrate upon return. With the freight train of college barreling down the tracks with all of us tied to the rails, all I have to say is I wish this happened sooner, and I wish we had more time together. Now, I'm not one to get all inspirational, and most certainly don't want to bore you with life lessons, but there are a few things I would like for you all to remember. For one, you're going to have to walk at your own pace. No one is the same, and everyone's going to be affected differently when compared to others. Be competitive, not comparative. Some people are going to have advantages over others. Life is not always fair. You simply just have to make the most of it. The next 2 concepts are really short. The first is communicating with clear intentions. Some conversations can't be avoided, so just don't. The next is taking time to yourself, know your boundaries and limits, and don't burn yourself out. I hate to get cliche to end it off, but the final topic is to try new things and be bold. You're never going to know what opportunities you might miss if you don't even try. It's better to know for sure than to be left wondering. I know all of you are going to accomplish great things in life, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you all have in store. As my speaking time begins to come to an end, and that train I mentioned nears ever so close, I'd like you all to know that this is not a goodbye. It's simply just a see you later. We're always going to be here, just as we have been for the last decade. We're forever going to be a family. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations to the Putnam Valley Senior Class of 2022.
Great job, Mike, and you said it, and don't forget it, right? You guys will always be a family. With that, I'd like to invite up our valedictorian for the class of 2022, Fiona Chen.
All right. Good evening, everybody. It has been a pleasure to listen to all the incredible speeches that have been shared here today. I feel tremendous pride and honor to be a part of such a special occasion. This could have never been possible without the help of so many people. First off, thank you to all of the teachers, families, staff, and administration for always going above and beyond. And thank you to my incredible parents, friends, and family. Words cannot describe how grateful I am for your unconditional support and love. And now, most importantly, I'd like to give a huge congratulations to the class of 2022 on all of your achievements so far. Despite all the odds in this crazy pandemic, we have finally made it. Now, I'll be honest, this speech was incredibly difficult to write. It feels odd for me to impart any wisdom upon all of you when I'm still at such a young age. I am not wise, at least not yet, but through my experience at Putnam Valley High School, I've come to appreciate the unique trials and tribulations that we have had to overcome to be seated here today. It seems as though throughout our entire lives, we have been constantly measured in numbers, by how many friends we had, what score we got on a test, how many colleges we applied to. In the standardized world where we are assigned numbers that measure our worth, I challenge you to take those with a grain of salt and think of what they truly mean to you. Are they really a representation of your true self? All of you have faced different challenges and experiences that have culminated to who you are today. I want you to embrace your individuality. Relish your uniqueness. Be confident. I urge you to realize the importance of your voice and your experience in the autonomy with which we have been thrown into. Know the importance of finding joy from those experiences and begin to mold tools that you can use to guide you through the rest of your life. It is perfectly normal to aspire for more. It is also perfectly normal to fear failure. In a commencement address, Conan O'Brien said, "It is our failure to become our perceived ideal that ultimately defines us and makes us unique." Now, by no means is this an easy task. Disappointment is inevitable. Yet, I believe that once you learn to accept and respond to your mistakes, your perception of failure will completely transform. There is a beauty to disappointment. With disappointment, you gain clarity, and with clarity comes conviction. Whenever you gain that conviction, I want you to make sure that you hold onto it as tight as you possibly can, because you will not know how long it will last. The bottom line is, do not allow yourself to get bogged down by misfortune and regret. Instead, allow your perceived failures to open you up to new perspectives and prospects. Many of you may have a specific vision of what your college experience is going to be or who you are going to become in the coming years. Although most people may emphasize finding something that you're passionate about, I think an element that is often left out is that this can change. Do you all remember the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? After looking back, I can confidently say that our answers have all changed so much, and we will continue to change as time passes. Be open to this change and accept it with excellence and grace. I think one of the greatest mistakes one can make tonight is to not realize the noteworthiness of your accomplishments. So tonight, as you walk across the stage, profusely sweating in your gowns, let yourself feel nothing but pride and satisfaction. Know that I'm proud of you, your teachers are all proud of you, and your family and friends are all proud of you. I am so excited to see all of you create your legacy as we transition on to the next chapter of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Fiona. But I think you are wise, and I want everybody to give a big round of applause for our Valedictorian and Salutatorian, and all of our student speakers. They did an awesome job. Now's the big moment, the reading of the graduate names and the awarding of diplomas. So I'd like to invite Ms. Janine Lewis, Mr. Vincent D. Gregorio, and Ms. Kelly Wilson for the reading of the names. I'd also like to invite up Mr. Matt Mello, Assistant Principal, Dr. Jeremy Luft, and members of the Board of Education to award diplomas.
You guys ready? You guys ready or what? Let's go. First row, please rise. Elise Aguila. Efahia Argeru. Danielle Barker. Sean Bauer. Noah Benchang. Aiden Bostic. Daniela Brandisi. Douglas Brown. Happy birthday, Doug. Daniel Burlingham. Thomas Colicchio. In row 2, please rise. Jacob Kaye. Daniel Carey. Julia Carlin. Aiden J. Carroll. Rhoda Cassidy. Jacob Cassidy. Sydney Cesarini. Fiona Chen. Roberto Chimbo. Jennifer Chunchi. Next row, please rise. Nicholas Surka. Elise Clavios Fajardo. Lilith Casetos. Kevin Crespo. Ethan Michael Cruz. Madison Cruz. Jordan B. Huddy. Michael A. Colaro. Julia Cunningham. Kelby T. Dock. For the next row, please rise. Really doing it. Paula Davila Arcos. Tanner Davis. Daniel DeChristopher. Avery DeMayo. Ryan DeKnight. Ava Davella. Sophia Davella. Matthew DeRubis. Jessica D. Ruggiero. Madeline DeVito. The next row, please rise. Micah Diaz Chacon. Chacon. Christian Delapi. Cole DeRocha. Andrew Zubak. Kayla Earl. Elgendi. Cameron Emery. Remy Epner. Anthony J. Esposito. Michael Esposito. The next row, please rise. Nicholas Felix. Kiara Philippopoulos. Priscilla Grace Fonte. Matthew Brado. Bryson Fritz. Damian Fusco Adams. Francesca Gallo. Bianca Grace Garcia. Isabella Garcia. Ileana Garcia Alicea. Kevin Garcia Mir. Next row, please rise. Naya Gavan. Olivia Goncalves. Alessandra Ranieri. Francis Ranieri. William Recco. Hayden Gumbrecht. Gavin Hard. Angelina N. Hetty. Alana Hess. Christopher Hickey. In the next row, please rise. Raymond Hillier. Emily Hollis. Michael Valoia. Arthur Ryan Holzman. Shahan Ikram. Jocelyn Alescas. Christopher Dietrich. In the next row, please rise.
Raymond Hillier. What's wrong there? Alexandra Jacobs. Callisto Jaconia. Rain Jung. Daniel Janowitz. Jaina Khan. Leanne Keeler. Michaela Keeler. Zachary Kutcher. Megan Krawick. Gabriella Lee. Can the next row please rise? Amanda Leo. Canyon Z. Lewis. Angel D. Loha. Nicholas Lombardi. Ashley Lombardo. Matthew T. Lapuzzo. Benjamin Louder. Maria Luna Mendez. Leah Lumber. Sarah Lucier. In the next row, please rise. Shayla Lucier. William Lyman. Joseph Maloney. Dominic Mantilla. Luke Marinelli. Natalie Mazza. Kristen McClung. Sean McCoy. Kira McDonald. Christopher Meenan. In the next row, please rise. Christian O. Moreno Takuri. Michael Mosney. Hector Sebastian Muniz. Jadalyn N. Murphy. Jacob Nakami. Carol Noguera. Jackson Novak. Urella Oriana Parra. Amanda Orlando. Fiona Osmonai. To the next row, please rise. Christopher Otto. Gabriela L. Pacheco. Brian Palmo. Taylor S. Peduto. Fox Perelson. Roger Ramo. Sophia Recupio. Leonard Rhine. Angel Rand. James Roche. In the next row, please rise. Brandon Rosado. Brian Rosado. Lydia Rosado. Stand on the yellow. Jephthah R. Russell. Jamie Sanchez. Hunter Sanchez Pena. Aiden Scantleberry. Shane G. Searing. Jane Sheehan. Rachel Shook. To the next row, please rise. Kelsey Simpson. Kyle Smith. Christopher Solis. Victoria Helen Spitzer. Megan Stevens. Thomas Straub. Anthony Sugantino. Lucy Toss. Tree Thorpe. John A. Torres. Dylan J. Travis. In the next row, please rise. Antonio Truglio. Nathan Velaz. Samantha Volcano. Joseph A. Waycaser. Allison Walsh. Michael Whitaker. Tyler Wollenweber. And Benjamin G. Whopper.
So one thing you don't know also about this class is they are the largest class that's going to be graduating from PVHS for at least the next 10 to 15 years. 157 students. By virtue of the authority vested upon me by the Putnam Valley Board of Education and the Commissioner of New York State of Education, I hereby confirm that these students have satisfactorily completed all requirements for graduation as prescribed by the New York State Department of Education. Congratulations, graduates. Seniors, you are dismissed. Woo!